morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Nice little bump. 173 billion. Already have it on the top 24-hour gainers. It's funny because I was looking at this and I was thinking it's kind of ironic. It went up 40% and it was still 1 Satoshi. Because it still has room to go down in Ethereum, apparently. So, I thought that was funny about Ken. 10 trillion coins is a fucking slap in the face. EOS, finally a nice little boom. Not sure why I started on the 24-hour. Just what it was up on. Let's look at Bitcoin. So I'm flirting with 6,000 again. Had a nice bump in Ethereum. I had stocked up a little bit on Ethereum when it was down, when it was dipping around 180, or 280, 285. I get asked the question, basically what you do with your Bitcoin. Do I just hodl it? Do I put it to work? Now, for people with under 50 Bitcoin or under, I would suggest, I mean, I'm not giving advice. This is just what I did in that situation. I had it all in play. 100% of it. And what I meant by that was I was making my Bitcoin work for me, right? This is some of the things I'm going to teach the traders. Basically, I always have my Bitcoin in play. If you don't have your Bitcoin in play, you're being lazy. And what I mean by that is I'll have Bitcoin at, 2,000, 2,100 Satoshi for basic attention token. Just chilling, waiting to catch some, right? I'll have some basic attention, or I'll have some lures set for Neo. I'll have some lures set for, Ethereum, even Qtum, No Limit Coin. All these coins that I like, I'm going to have lures set for. So I'm having my Bitcoin always work for me because there's always a dump. This is the era of the dumps. People don't realize this. This is like so uncommon. When you talk to professional traders, it's just like preschool shit what's going on right now. The money is so easy to be made, and it takes a different philosophy in trading. I have a completely different philosophy than anyone else. I've never heard of this because I didn't research it. I made it up. And it works because I fucking look at something and I take it to whatever level it needs to succeed. When I played video games, I was always the cheapest. I was the best in Madden. I'm the best Madden player. Top 3 in PlayStation 3 years in a row when I played. I was the best. And I had half the games played than anyone else. What I did was I would run goal line. I'd put my wide receivers as tight ends. So I'd have wide outs at tight end. And I would go goal line. I would put a tight end as my fullback. And I would go no huddle. And if they came out in a run defense, I would audible to 5 wide shotgun. Keep in mind, my tight end was fullback and my wide receivers were tight ends, right? So they didn't have the right matchups. And if they came out in a pass defense, I'd go right back to goal line because I'd pick teams with big ass wide receivers that could block and could run. So no one could stop me. I just ran no huddle in 3 plays, and I was the best in the world. That's how I roll. I've always done that. I find the exploit. Even when I was a little kid and I played Street Fighter, I would get Honda and I'd get you in the corner with 1,000 slap, and it'd hit you so you couldn't hit the ground. You just kept bouncing, and there was nothing you could do. You might as well drop the controller. And I'd make people cry because I was just the worst to play with. So that's kind of what I do with this. I Honda slap people in the corner with my trade game because it's like, look, man, I know you want some Bitcoin. I know you want some Bitcoin. I know you want that fork money, and you're going to have to pay a premium for it. So you're going to have to give me your basic attention token for free. You're going to have to give me your no limit coin for free. You're going to have to give it all for free if you want this Bitcoin that badly. And it might take a week. You don't know. It might take a couple of weeks. You don't know. You might have to constantly be changing your lures, right? Like, you never know when it's going to hit, but it takes patience because it will hit and that's how you expand. That's how you make the money, because you'll be, dude, I swear I would have lures hit and I'd wake up and it autocorrect, and I could just literally wake up, push a button, sell for 20% profit. It's just when people want their Bitcoin, they're going to dump to get it now. They're not patient. These aren't professional traders. These are your mom. This is your pizza delivery guy. This is your, the waiter. This is everybody. This is not Wall Street cutthroat robots. Like, you know, when you go to Wall Street, these are completely different. There's new coins being launched every single day. And the beautiful thing, what's happening right now, people in the old world of Wall Street, they're a victim of their own success. And that's why I was talking about, you know, never having any fear, because it doesn't matter. I've done everything. I've done every single task I do in my business. I can do everything that anyone I've ever hired can do, and I can do it better than them. So that's the point you have to do. You have to master the roots first and then grow. And the Wall Street guys didn't do this because guess what? They're not getting their hands dirty. They've always had people to research. They've always had robots to run algorithms. They've always had an upper hand that they could lean on as a crutch, and they don't have that anymore. They have to get their hands dirty. They have to get dirt on their nails. They have to, you know, put in the work, and they're not used to that shit. And now they're confused, and now they're just trying to dump a bunch of money anywhere they can. Just like, oh, I'm just going to dump, you know, I'm going to have Floyd Mayweather promote. Like, they're so out of sync, and they're so bad at it that there's some things money can't buy. And people are really starting to realize that. What can't money buy? The research now. You got to find the right people. You have to have the right quality. You can spend infinite amounts of money on quote unquote experts that are going to feed you shit. I mean, everyone's looking at these ICOs the wrong way. Everyone's looking at pros, superstars. Like, they're always trying to find, like, I don't know, man. When I look around at how people are finding coins and how people are doing the research from the pros, there's some good YouTubers out there. Don't get me wrong. The YouTubers are the best, actually. The YouTubers are the ones that are way better than the Wall Street guys and all these others. But man, there's very few in between. I disagree with almost all of it. And no wonder that, you know, I don't know. I don't like talking about my ROI that I've made this year, but I just, the opportunity right now, there's a big hole in the game. And that hole is filled by hard work and getting your nails dirty and finding, you know, the little guys, man. This is not, people are constantly trying to find the next Microsoft just because it's painted Microsoft and it has all these big superstars and all this money behind it. But then, you know, look at fucking Kin, 100 million superstars, fucking raised 40% in one day and didn't even get off one Satoshi, half of the fucking ICO price. I'm just saying that you can find coins that have no money, but you have the right team. You have the right hungry team. I'm looking at the garages. Where was Apple made? Think about that. If you were constantly searching for all the superstar businesses and never looking in the garages, you would never find an Apple. Ever. And that's the point I'm trying to hammer across home. This is the era. This is the time of the garages. This is where you need to be looking. You need to be looking under stones. You need to be looking at people that are really, really going for it. Everyone knows the ICOs that I've been involved in. Another one coming up that I really like that I can eat, that is like they came up from the garage and then they came up real big, is Spective. You know, you look at my channel months ago, I've been talking about Spective, had the interview with the guys. Just an absolutely fascinating project. You know how I feel about VR and blockchain. I think that these apps have really big ability to just pop off really quick one day. All of them are in the garage right now, so to speak. So really good time. You know, the good thing about Spective is they actually raised $4 million already on the pre-sale from just like grassroots people. So it's like, just gotta have a lot of firepower in that one. So many good opportunities right now, though. I'm saying, like, the coins that did do good, that were kind of hot shot, you know, don't count those out either, because right now, that, like I've been saying in my last videos, you're getting a discount on Ether Delta like nobody's business. And that's how I'm looking at it, because the more hyped it is, the more expensive the coin's going to be. And a lot of these ICO people, hey man, I'm not trying to talk any shit on nobody. I'm just saying a lot of them, I've done a lot of advice. I give a lot of advice. And that's one thing that people are missing out on, is people always have to do something for money. Like, you would think, oh, D, right? He can't waste his time doing anything for free. Most of the shit I do is for free. Most of the stuff I do is for free. Most of it. And the money just comes on behind that. I'm not asking for it. It happens. It appears with hard work, skill, giving. It all starts with the giving. So I give advice to all kinds of ICOs. I don't like dropping names. A lot of people get in contact with me wanting my advice. And a lot of them are like, hey, we'll pay you this, pay you that. Nope. I'm just, I give them the advice. If I'm interested in joining the project, then of course. But I'm constantly giving these CEOs advice. I love it when a CEO of a big company comes to me, asks for advice, and I turn down their offer of money, and then I give them a whole bunch of good advice that they're like, bet, man, that's badass. Thank you. What's going to happen to my name in the background when these CEOs talk? Oh, wow, D Hens, D, he turned down money and gave you free advice. Yeah, he told us this. Like, we got to get this guy on the team, right? And then they come to me with an offer like, look at this project. We really want you to be, have a nice big seat at the table. And then I can consider a business deal then. It's just, people are crippled by the ask, man. People are crippled by, they always have to get the money up front. And that is crippling you. Absolutely crippling you. If you can master something that has value, master it. Doesn't take long to master. 10,000 fucking hours, my ass. What are you doing? Get your fucking dick out of your hand. 10,000 hours? Fuck that. Bullshit. You can master something in a fucking week if you're hungry enough. I don't even want to hear about that. Like these limitations and all of these books that people write just because they're rich or successful and it becomes law. I think that's fucking bullshit with this. I don't know. That's one of the biggest things I see in emails. And that's another thing, guys. Like I hired somebody to take care of all my emails now, all my messages. I love all of you. I spend more time now reading emails and responding, and it's just getting to the point where obviously I'm trying to be a billionaire and I'm trying to sharpen and hone myself. So it's really tough. I love all you don't understand. I read them. I love you guys for sure. Lots of positive energy. It's really touching to have all these people reaching out to me. And I just have to put it out there that I am going to have somebody handling it for me. I'm going to be reading them all, but she's going to have she's going to know how to respond. Obviously, it's my sister. So, family, it's not some robot. So I gave the intimate jobs to the people who are very loved in my life. But one of the things is what cripples a lot of people is A, hard work and mastering something. And then B is to have all of that time mastering it, staying in on Friday night, staying in on Saturday night, every time putting in that work. And then you have somebody just come at the end and want all of that for free. And you feel disrespected and you're like, well, no, you go put in the work. If you can get over that ego and that emotion and just say, fuck this and be just like some kind of divine being where emotion doesn't exist in your life, because that's just going to fucking slow you down if you're using it wrong. If it limits you, that's bad, right? If you ever think, well, pride, what is that? Why wouldn't you give it for free even though you did all the work and they didn't? It's a pride thing if you really get down to it. But the more you do that, you'll just become, I'm telling you, so much value. But this is a really, like I've been saying, pre-fork, setting the lures really, really, really deep. Always having your money work for you. I'm always having Bitcoin on lures. It's just easy money. If it doesn't hit, then that's good. Why? Because you still have Bitcoin. But if it does hit, then you just got a major, major discount on a coin that obviously you presumably like. Look at Kyber Network slipping. I was getting Kyber Network in the 80s, 80 cents. The dumps were happening. SYS coin getting it for 2,200 at some points during this really, really low. You see this? You see those dumps? And remember, you guys know I told you the dumps don't always record on CoinMarketCap a lot of the time because they autocorrect so fast. So there, the last 7 days have been pretty good. You can see these just random dumps, but 28, yeah, they're not showing, but I was getting some for 22-ish, 23, 24. Look at that. Just a good time to always have money working for you. Lots of ICOs are coming out. It's harder and harder to find really, really good ICOs right now. I think Hacking has a really good opportunity to be a really good ICO just because of the timing, right? Because the security. I see most ICOs now are coming out with some kind of bounty program where they're paying big bucks for white hat hackers to exploit their system and give them the bug fixes. And if Hacking can really rumors, I'm not saying, I can't say anything official, but John McAfee is looking at the project. Nothing official. I'm not going to say anything official, but you know, just from the research, I got a team of researchers. We're all on that. We understand what's going on. And, you know, but right now, I'm telling you, man, it's hard to find really good ICOs because it's saturated. A lot of them are overhyped. And I've been looking, you know, I've been bringing you guys them gems, some underground gems. So the ones that are really hard to find. It took a lot of due diligence because the smaller the ICO, the more research you have to do on the background of the people to make sure it's legit and all that. So it's just a lot of effort, a lot of work. You know, you're going to go through 50 ICOs and maybe 2-3 of them are worth a shit nowadays. It's really getting fucking saturated, and the money, you're starting to see it. The people aren't doing it anymore. People aren't just splashing the money around the ICOs. There was a point where you could just throw money in an ICO and win, and then, you know, as of recently, you had to be more careful. For us, we binked good. You know, Vibe was great. Obsidian was great. We, you know, we had some really good ones come in with some really good bonuses, trying to get as much value as possible. Holy Batman shit. Bitcoin Cash is almost $500 now. Doesn't surprise me. You know why? Because if anything, Bitcoin Cash would be a safe haven from this fork coming up on Bitcoin. I'm starting to realize, I think some of the big money is going to realize that this fork is, I'm just surprised like Bitcoin's this high prior to the fork, because this is a nasty fork coming up. I'm surprised in a wonderful way. Don't get me wrong. It's just showing the brute force of Bitcoin. People are just like, fuck you. We have confidence in Bitcoin, and it's wonderful. But it is kind of like walking on ice, not knowing if you're going to fall into a bunch of cold water right now with Bitcoin prior to the fork, obviously. I just think that with the big money behind SegWit2x and the intentions, I just don't think they're going to go quietly into the night. And I think there might be like a pop campaign where they try to smear Bitcoin or try to spread fear. I'm not sure. I'm just saying, you know, I have my ear to the railroad tracks. I'm just telling you when I feel rumblings. I think no matter what Bitcoin, obviously I'm not doing anything. I'm not moving out of Bitcoin to Bitcoin Cash. So I don't think that's a smart idea. Bitcoin Cash, I don't know. I just don't like it. There's just, I just don't like the vibe. Yeah, you could say centralization, miner coin, whatever you want. I just never really liked how it went down. I don't like the behind the scenes. I don't know, just something. I'm going to put my support behind Bitcoin. I'm going to have it where I own the private keys, HODL. In the meantime, use some of that Bitcoin. Get it on the exchanges, guys. The Bitcoin that you're going to use to buy alts. Because you don't want to fuck around too close to the fork and be sending Bitcoin back and forth. So I would get the Bitcoin on the exchanges that you want, spread it out. And, you know, I'm hunting these altcoins right now. There's going to be some dumps. Remember last time Bitcoin and altcoins went down because people just wanted out. People didn't know what was going on with this Bitcoin Cash. So people just wanted out. So I think worst case scenario, Bitcoin might stay, or best case scenario, Bitcoin can hover around this, maybe go a little bit higher. Who knows? You know, it could go either way. It really could. If people think SegWit2x is going to be worth a lot. The one thing I do find that's going to be almost a certain is the altcoins are going to suffer here and there, and they're going to have their ebbs and flows. You're going to have like random 20% burst, and like this is a perfect time to fucking like I don't like saying when to cut sell spears, because that fucks up my game as well. But a sell spear here, if you were able to get it in the 48s, 50s. It's just going to be an ebb and flow, guys. I just think that there's going to be ups and downs, up and down. I don't like giving out sell spears because there's nothing good for it in me. It hurts my game, and they're harder to predict because we don't really know, because there's no ceilings on these things. So, you know, I know a good buy spear. I know if I'm getting basic attention token for anywhere, you know, around 2,000 Satoshi, that's a good buy. It's universally going to be a good buy, in my opinion. To say when to sell is a different beast, though. So I stay away from that, but I give my common, you know, if you look at my old videos, you know exactly how I trade. I have a few tweaks, but all right. So I'm going to be playing poker today. So I guess I'm going to keep this short and kill it here. Cheers. Peace.